All right. Hey everyone, it's Deb, and I just thought I would share some of the demonstrations that I've been doing with my customers and I'm doing with my team today as well. So I've got my photographer Amy, and the rest of the team that is here today is Kevin and Tina. We have quite a few people that are sick or in COVID jail that couldn't make it. So we missed you guys, but I wanted to include you a little bit with at least these demos. So one of the things I wanted to show you is this Love and Happiness bundle that is in this new mini catalog that started January 4th. Now when you look in the mini catalog, you're not going to get a real sense for this, but this is a hybrid system and it's a little bit new. We've had them before, but they're fairly new, like I want to say about 6 months or so. And it comes in a bundle, so you can get the stamp set. And then the other part is a folder and a set of dies. And it's actually pretty well priced. I believe it's $45.75. So I think that's a pretty good deal for all of the items that come in it. Now, I wasn't really sure about the stamp set. It's all about love and Valentine's and wedding days and stuff like that. I have a lot of that stuff already. But I always get mad at myself when I don't order the bundle because the other stuff comes in and immediately I start going, I didn't get that to save $20. And so when this came in, I am glad I got it because there's some very specific label type dies that fit these words. So that made my heart happy. However, I'm not completely convinced that all of you should have that, but I do think you should have this, and here's why. Because it has this die that fits into the folder. So there's a little area in here to put your die in. And so it's called a hybrid because it embosses and it die cuts. So let me straighten that up a little bit. So you have that all in there. You want to make sure that your cutter blade is down when it goes into the machine, and then the hinge always goes in first. And I know lots of people have different machines. This will work with your Big Shot. I can't say if it's going to work with a Cuttlebug, if that's what you're using, or any other die cutter on the market. You'd have to look into that. And then you just want to make sure you've got your plating right. So for the cut and emboss, it's your big plate and then your gray one. And that stuff's all written on your stuff too. If your machine, if it's like really, really hard to crank through, you don't have your plating right, don't force it. Take it out, look at it, check it out, and you'll usually find you've got something wrong with your plating. So when you open this up, you have this, and then you have the heart. And this just gives you all kinds of little fun things to do. So you can layer that. You can use it just as a cutout. So on here, I've just put a piece of black, basic black behind it. And then I used another one of the little dies and then the little Happy Valentine's Day. So I use that like as a peekaboo window. You can also lay it back in there, and I popped it up with dimensionals. And then I took my Stampin' Blends, and I'm not the best at coloring, so this was probably not perfect, and this was actually a little bit hard for me to even see these little things. But it's very cute, and it's very soft and delicate looking. And then here's another one where there's another die set in there, called Forever Love or something like that. And I just use that to layer behind the heart. And then here it is on a foil sheet, which is, this is just really stunning. This would make a really nice wedding card. And it's so simple. It looks, like it was very labor intensive, but it wasn't. And then here I just mixed up the colors. And then I also used the deboss side. So the back of the heart is where you get your deboss. And it's just a little different look for the texture. This I used the shimmering in color vellum. And then I just popped the heart up. And then here's what it looks like if you don't use the die. So you get this separation, so you can still just use the folder like you would any folder, and then you just get that separation in there. And you could obviously sponge in here, use your blending brush, or do other things in there, but I just wanted it to be plain so you could see that you have that option You have a heart left over, you use that on something. And then this one uses more of the dies. These little flowers are in the die set and the label. The stamp is from one of the celebrations things. So you can actually do quite a bit with this little bundle. So I wanted to show you that because I don't think the catalog does that justice. Do you guys? I mean, when you look in there, it's just like a flat thing. Oh, what is that, you know? And me, I've got tons of hearts. So it's like, do I really need the heart? Yeah, I sort of do. I want to see what that thing does. Okay, so let's talk about another fun little idea, another little piece of magic. So another thing that's in this mini catalog is this Hello Ladybug bundle, and it makes an adorable ladybug. But I'm going to show you how to make a bumblebee, just to get a little more versatility out of your punch. So you'll need, for my bumblebee, a piece of vellum, and then a scrap of paper, and this is, oh boy, I can't remember the name of it. It's a DSP that's in the Hostess selection. So back towards the annual catalog, there's a DSP pack back there, and I had all these strips left over from class last month, actually. Tina, you might recognize.
Something party.
Yeah, party time paper, or I don't know, something. It's in the back. There's only one thing back there. Anyway, this is where that came from. And then you need a piece of black paper. And so to do this, then you're going to punch a ladybug out. And then you're going to take this stripe of paper and you're going to go right up to the neck of the ladybug. So it's not the full ladybug, just the body is what you end up when you do that. And then we'll grab the wings with the vellum. Okay. All right, now we're going to take, you can take a marker. I'm using the blends, and I'm using Daffodil Delight, but any of the yellows will work, whatever you got. You could also sponge the yellow in. You could also use the blending brush. You could watercolor. You could use your watercolor pencils. You could use your aqua painter, your blender pens. You get the thing, whatever, however you get yellow. There's lots of ways. All right, now you glue that to the body. And then you put your wings on. And there you go. You got a bumblebee. Okay, I'm going to show you one more trick. Not actually a trick, but I have a really hard time doing one-layer cards. I like, if you look around on all my samples, there's only a couple one-layers. So on December 24th, my church had this really cool thing called Church in Action, and they gave us all a packet to take home with us. And there was 3 cards in the packet. They were thank you cards. And they wanted us to give the thank you card to somebody that you wouldn't normally give a thank you card to. They weren't trying to give us a thank you card to give to people that gave us Christmas gifts or anything like that. It was like really think out of the box, and they gave us like 5 different ideas. And if you lived in our area, you know we had a snowstorm, which is basically a nightmare for about a week around here. And I live on that private hill that gets quite messy when we have a snowstorm. And our HOA, they were up for hours off and on that whole week of the snowstorm. So, and everyone, of course, is griping at them like they can control the snow, and it's hard to get the plow out because everybody's trying to get plowed. And anyway, they just did a really great job. So I took those 3 cards, I went and bought some Starbucks gift cards, put them in there, and gave them to our HOA. And that was inspired from that letter. I may not have thought of that. You know, I don't know. I got those cards, and I was like, what am I going to do with these? And I started trying to think about what I would do with them. Anyway, the card was really cool, and I will be posting it in my blog in the next few days. The card inspired me to make this card, is what happened, because it looked very, very similar, and I'll show you guys on my camera later after we get through with this what it looked like. But this was just made with the Friendly Hello bundle, which is part of the celebration. So I just grabbed the sentiment, and then I used that and this little guy to go around the edge. And it's super similar to what the card that the church gave us. So it's odd where you find your inspiration. And then I have one more card, maybe, that I want to show you from that. Or maybe not. Maybe I didn't bring it out here. Okay, maybe I didn't bring it out here. Okay, so those are my tricks, and I'll see some of you guys tomorrow virtually. So thanks very much, Amy, for doing this experiment. We'll see if we'll do it again.